Hi there, this is Jacob Nash, and this is a review of Module 68 on schizophrenia. Psychosis, so let's talk about that first. Psychosis is a psychotic disorder in which a person loses contact with reality with irrational ideas and distorted perceptions. Schizophrenia is a disorder characterized by delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech, and or diminished or inappropriate emotional expression. They might see or hear things that are not there. Um, so what would a delusion be? A delusion is a false belief. That's basically what it is. And then a hallucination is a false sensory experience. That's what I was talking about. They might see things or hear things that are not there. You might hear a voice that says, um, it might tell them to do something bad. I've heard things like that where someone said, you must like do something bad or something. That sometimes that's what happens. So that's not good. Uh, or they might see something like they see something that's not there that might be frightening. Positive symptoms, negative symptoms. So if a positive symptom, this doesn't just apply to schizophrenia, but in general, it's symptoms that add something to um, whatever, add something to you. So in the case of schizophrenia, it's a hallucination that's adding something that's not there. And then negative symptom is something that takes away something. So your emotions can be taken away with a flat effect. That means that you don't have any emotions. So there's two types of schizophrenia that you need to know, chronic and acute. So chronic is over time, which is worse. And you will typically find that out earlier. So the earlier that you find out about schizophrenia, the worse. It would be better if you were first diagnosed at an older age, like 30 or something, rather than like 18. Because if it comes sooner, then it will has the more potential to worsen than if it's acute, in which it comes quick and it can't do quite as much damage. So what could be a cause of schizophrenia? Well, remember back in Module 9 when we talked about the neurotransmitters, for dopamine, if there's not enough, that causes Parkinson's disease. There's too much though, that's what causes schizophrenia. Too much dopamine. There is a 50% chance that if one identical twin has it, then the other will. And then according to the diathesis stress model, it also could be caused by a traumatic event. All right, create an example of hallucination. Mayu hears a voice that tells her to dance, and she does as she is told, but the voice is not actually present. So obviously that example is, if that was the case, that wouldn't be that bad, right? If you just saw someone dancing, that's not really that bad. But there have been other cases in which that so-called voice would say, like I said, to do something bad, to hurt someone or themselves. So that's just a mild example. Unfortunately, that's not what it's always like. It's usually something worse than that. False beliefs that may accompany psychotic disorder are called delusions. Which disorder has or uses antipsychotic drugs to treat it? Sometimes schizophrenia patients could be given that. Disorganized thinking, disturbed perceptions, and inappropriate emotions are associated with schizophrenia. What do brain scans reveal about brain activity with people with chronic schizophrenia? Well, I didn't really talk about that. I think I have before in a previous module. I just didn't in this one. But remember, their ventricles will be typically larger. That's like what's in the middle of the brain. When would a person develop schizophrenia according to diathesis stress model? Remember, that model says that it could happen after a traumatic event. Thank you for watching.